When it comes to sales and closing, there are words which you want to use and words which you want to avoid in order to close the deal healthy. Welcome back, Success Nation. Now in this video, I'd love to share with you 27 words which you want to avoid using in order to be able to simply close the sale. Number one, to be honest with you. I was a victim of this word, and I used to say it because, you know, when you start speaking from the heart and you're not intellect and knowledgeable, you might say things that is not for your own favor, even though you mean the opposite. So when you say to be honest with you, your prospect or client feels like, what, have you been lying to me all this time? Like, what do you mean to be honest with you? Like, before being honest with me, were you just lying to me? Were you just saying stuff to me without thinking and feeling? And chances are the sale or that conversation might not be as effective as you want it to be, and you might ruin the whole thing. Number two, trust me. Now guys, do you trust someone who says trust me, or do you prove it through your actions? If I want to trust you, I wouldn't trust you because you just said trust me. If I want to trust you, it's because I have a proven record of what you have done. So better than just saying trust me, show them what you have done in order to gain credibility, in order they feel like you are a reliable person that they can depend on and they want to buy from. Number three, I'm just sorry to bother you. This usually happens on the phone. I used to get, and I still do, get a lot of calls from, advertising companies, investments, just fake fraud people. And they always used to say, oh, I'm sorry to bother you. Is this the right time? I'm like, the right time for what? Is this the right time for me to speak to you about my company? They sound so inconfident because their whole education is wrong. I wish to tell them, you know what? Why don't you check out my videos, or why don't you buy my book and at least know how to speak and talk when it comes to closing deals. You don't need to say, if you don't mind, you don't need to say sorry to bother you, because you are the type of person who's got the product or service and you're willing to exchange this value plus your time's value with their money. Now your prospect is willing to buy if you can show them the value from what they will pay for. Once they feel like the value is way less than what they're paying for, if they feel like the value, is way higher than what they're paying for, they will just buy it without even thinking. So it is your job, because it is your product and service, or it is the product and service of the company that you're working for, which they have lesser info from. Additionally, when you say sorry, you're apologizing, and that puts you on the weak side, where in reality you have to be on the strong side, and you have to feel like this guy wants my product and service because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you're not sure if your product and service is of value enough to be used by your time and for your action and for your effort to sell it, then at least list all the advantages and disadvantages of it. If you have more advantages than disadvantages for your product, there you go. So why would you apologize for all these advantages? The value is clear. There is no need for over-analyzing and mathematicians. Number four, just following up. Hi, is this Michael speaking? Yeah, I'm just following up on our last conversation or meeting that we had. That's not the right way to say it, because when you say just following up, the prospect feels like you're trying to sell them something, and they hate being sold, but they love to buy out of their free will. So instead of saying just following up, just recall them on their pains, which you should know because you have done enough questions. You have asked them enough questions in order to know where they lack, where is their pain, and you just kind of hit the spot and just remind them on that pain so they can understand to not ignore it. Number five, buy. B-U-Y, which is the most fearful word to any customer. Once again, guys, people love to buy, they hate being sold. So instead of saying, would you like to buy this car? Would you like to buy this service? Would you like to buy this product? Just say, would you like to own this? Would you like to own this car? Not would you like to buy this expensive car? No, would you like to take this car home with you? Would you like to take this service home with you and share it with your friends and family? Would you like to? And you, as the closer or the sales guy, you should know if they are willing to or not. You know, if they are live one-on-one, you can see their facial expressions, or you can feel it usually from the phone. So if they are not willing to own and buy this, then why would you want to over push it? Because guys, word of mouth still exists. You don't want these people or guys to go back and say, you know what, these people have been pushing me so much with the phone. I hate, you know, their marketing and sales, and I don't feel comfortable. Number 6, contract. When you say contract, it triggers a fear, okay? It triggers resistance to the client's head. It's like, contract, oh my God, what is this? Signing a lease for my 20-year period? Just say, let's get this paperwork out the way. Or you can just say, hey, sign this agreement. That feels less pressure than sign this contract, please. And he's like, oh wait, no, I have to read every part of it. I have to go home, consult it with my lawyer, with my wife, with my neighbor, and then when I feel good, I'll come. Sale ended. Number 7, I haven't heard back from you. Well, that's because I don't want to respond back to you. Instead of saying that, you could say like, hey, let me offer you something. As a salesperson, you should continuously offer your client until they understand and see what they are paying for is way less than the valuable. So think of it as a scale, you know. Your product or service value has to be like this, and your price has to be like this. If they are like this, they're not gonna buy. If they're like this, don't even think about it. Number 8, individual. Just simply, you know, eliminate this word from your vocabulary. It feels very cold, you know. You know, like, yeah, you know, I saw you as a very motivated individual. You know, you came around and we sat, and you know, I feel like you're very reliable, independent individual to make enough decisions. Don't do that. Just eliminate this whole segment, whole part from the sales process. Number 9, we are better than our competitors. Whenever somebody comes and tells me, so Khalid, why should I buy from you and not buy from XYZ, or not go with XYZ, or not join community XYZ? I tell them, you know what, XYZ are good. Why don't you go there? You should go there. I think they're good. Whenever you put your competitor down, it shows that you're trying to stand out. You're trying to reveal that your competitor doesn't know what they're doing, and you and your client knows that, no, the competitor knows what he's doing. You're just trying to be defensive because you're hiding something. So don't do that. Always collaborate. There's a very profound principle which rings in my head so many times, that never ever think of competing. Always think of collaborating, because once you do that, you gain more power. It's a win-win situation. You get a lot of good things by just doing that, and that is how business should be done. Sometimes my client can say like, or customers can say like, you know, I think you're better than, you know, other competitors, or I think this book is better than that book. And I can tell them easily, no, actually my book is not. I think my competitors are good. We're just hitting different spots. We're just hitting different angles. And you know, some people may resonate with this, with me. Some people may resonate with them. You know, it's a choice. If you think they're good, then you can go to them and actually, I think they're good people. And if you also need help, I might help you on that as well. Once you do that, you can gain trust and credibility and recurring customers and conversions like crazy, because he's like, wow, you know, this guy is not trying to sell me anything. This guy cares about me more than I care about me. So I think I should blindly just follow him. So here you guys have it, the words which you want to avoid, not use when it comes to closing a sale. And do have this tip in mind in closing, to always ask questions, okay? A good salesperson always does 80% of the asking. The client has to do 80% of the speaking. You speak only 20%, 20. The prospect speaks 80%, 80. For the prospect to speak 80% and you speak 20%, you have to ask 80% and they have to ask only 20%. Does that make sense? There you go, there you have it. If you just have that mindset with just asking and asking and asking and listening until the point that they feel, wait, it's uncomfortable, you know? They're like, no, they really want to know what you're all about, then you can at least start to mold and categorize and, you know, present for the best possible way to actually fix your customers' needs. So here you guys have it. Don't forget to smash and destroy the subscribe button if you haven't done yet, and hit the like button. Plus, hop off to my website, khalidalmutar.com, and check out my different products and services that I do offer. Now, if you don't know yet, I am an author of the book, The Power of Me, which is on Amazon, that you can find a quick link under this video or through my website. It's a book which unleashes the power within you. After reading, you know, hundreds of different books out there, I came up with a plan to put a book that is in practical, so you can actually apply it with using a pen and paper and your everyday life in order to start gaining these benefits from the things that you read from.